There are some incredible YouTube studios out there, all of them trying to take advantage of the space they have, getting multiple camera angles to keep the visual interest going, and innovative ways of making a small space feel bigger. We're going to show you 7 innovative studio setups from different YouTube creators, and hopefully it will give you ideas as you create your space. This first studio setup is from YouTuber Potato Jet. He does great content about cameras, lenses, and everything filmmaking. He just recently redid a studio. He's using a bedroom in his house, so there's lots of challenges there, like windows he needs to block out, has to bring in better lighting, but the biggest challenge is making it feel big or open even in a small space. Well, he had an incredible idea, which is actually to take 3 large TVs, mount them vertically side by side, creating one big display, and then he puts drone footage and pictures on those TVs, and it looks like a massive window. Most people, when they see his videos, unless they've seen this particular setup video, probably are not going to know that those are 3 big TVs and it's not an actual window. This is an incredible idea. I love the way it looks. The drone footage he's capturing is awesome. And even in that small space, he's able to create multiple angles. He can do an interview where a guest is sitting on the couch, he's sitting at his desk. He can do some close-up shots for products. Really love his setup, very innovative, even using older lights, but placing small LED battery-powered lights inside of them so he has RGB control. You can check out the video about his new studio setup down in the video description, and you'll find all of the setups we talk about down there as well. The next creator is Becki and Chris. They're really a power couple. They do a lot of video filming. He's a helicopter pilot, and they transformed this basement space into 5 different sets for their YouTube videos. I love the variety of the spaces. They have great shots for like gear talk or tutorial style videos, a simple background for a talking head or maybe some interview style content. And I love that they also have a podcast studio set up ready to go whenever they want to record a video podcast. We've talked a lot about video podcasts on this channel and the importance for discoverability, growth, and even monetization. And if you can have that kind of dedicated space, maybe multi-use, so you use it for other videos, but it's also a podcast space, can really help you generate that content easily and quickly. I love how they utilize their unfinished ceiling to clamp lights and cameras to those beams, and they even built a wall on wheels so they can wheel it around that area, change different scenes or sets, or even paint that wall or decorate that wall and put it in the backdrop of any of their videos. Awesome ideas. You can find the link to their 5 sets in one room video down in the description. Number 3, tech YouTuber iJustine just redid her studio as well. Extremely clean look. She's able to put colors on that back wall. She can either do kind of a plain white or gray look or change it to pink, which is really matching her brand. But I love what she says about her studio, meaning once you have something that works, you try never to touch it. If you have a good A-roll camera and a B-roll top-down camera, which she does a lot of unboxing content, if it's working, do your best to not move it from shot to shot or video to video. She has multiple cameras. She's running them into an A10 Mini Pro, which is what I'm using right here as well. We have a video about using video switchers with Riverside also. You can check that out above or the link in the description. She also does multi-purpose content, meaning she'll record her podcast in the same room, and so she's tried to set it up with like that ATEM switcher and multiple cameras. This way she can use the space for multiple purposes. Her lighting is also really on point. Every shot looks great, especially those close-up gadget shots or unboxing videos. They always look crisp. You can check out her studio tour video down in the description. Next is YouTube creator Parker Walbeck. He actually converted a large garage space into a massive studio. He also has multiple sets in the same area. He built a large wooden wall, which looks great on camera as a backdrop. He does a lot of corporate or business-related videos, so he'll seat the subject in front of that wooden wall. Looks great. You can add a plant or something in the background for visual interest, and then he can repurpose it for his podcast content or whatever he's recording in the studio. Like other YouTube creators, he has this light that actually shines on the wall and it looks like a window, but it's actually not. So it's a nice way of making the viewer feel like the space is bigger than it is. Also, being a large garage space, he had to really focus on sound treatment. There's a lot of echo in a large space like that, a lot of hard surfaces, and so he has sound paneling throughout the space and lots of soft objects like sofas and rugs to absorb some of that sound. But even in that large space, he has several stations where he can film and it still feels close and intimate with the viewer, showing off products or doing talking head content. You can check out his video below as well. Now, one of my personal favorite YouTube creators and someone that I really look to when building my own home studio is DSLR Video Shooter. He has this one video called the Ultimate Video Desk Setup. We'll put the link below or you could watch it above. But this video is really for the one-man band or one-man show when you have to generate a lot of content. Maybe you're by yourself or you're doing remote interviews with Riverside. And this desk has it all. Multiple camera shots, both for A-roll, B-roll, top-down. He has the video switcher, again, the A10 Mini Pro, so he can live stream, switching between all those cameras. And I love that he has this teleprompter setup, and his teleprompter setup actually has a screen which mirrors his remote guests in front of the camera lens. This way when he's recording, he's looking directly at the camera lens, but he's also seeing his remote guests at the same time. This way he doesn't have to look away to address or look at the guest, he's looking at the camera the entire time. Be sure to check out his video and his teleprompter build down in the description. Now we can't talk about studio setups without mentioning MKBHD. He's one of the largest tech YouTube creators on the platform. He has a massive space with many different rooms. He also has a very large team that helps him produce these videos. So if you get anything from watching his video, it's down in the description, make sure you understand that this takes a large team and a very large space. Remember, just make the best use of the space you already have. Good lighting, good audio, creative backdrops, all of that can make a difference in your content. But if you can get an entire warehouse and build a studio, MKBHD shows what you can do with it. He has an entire room for the top-down shots when he's talking about gadgets and devices. He has a massive robotic arm that he controls with an Xbox controller to get some of that incredible B-roll of products. So don't feel bad if your B-roll doesn't look like that, because you need a huge robotic arm to do it. Because he's in a very large warehouse, he also talks a lot about sound treatment throughout the space, trying to block out some air conditioning sounds, lots of rugs everywhere. But again, all of his content looks incredible. You can check out his full walkthrough at the link below. And the last setup I'd like to mention is Gerald Undone. He recently moved studios, although the set looks very similar to what he's had in the past, but he has some really innovative ideas, especially mounting stuff to the ceiling. He's got lots of sound treatment up there, floating clouds, but instead of drilling a bunch of holes everywhere, he actually attaches things to his ceiling via magnets. This way, if he wants to move it easily or add something to the ceiling coming down, he can just use magnets and he doesn't have to drill a bunch of holes or make sure he's getting a stud. Love that idea. His audio also sounds incredible, and that has a lot to do with the sound treatment in his room, those clouds, things on the wall. But I also love his backdrop, very on brand. You could tell purple is his color, and because he does video and filming content, you could see kind of that feel behind him. You can watch his studio tour below, and if you need help building your own home studio, maybe you have a small space. The room that I'm in right now is only 9 foot by 8 foot. We actually have an entire video on how to build a home studio, and we have an updated video on some of the changes I made, like controlling my video switcher with a foot pedal. This way I don't have to look away from the camera or even touch my keyboard and mouse when I'm live streaming. You can check out that video above or the link in the description. Don't forget, hit that like button on this video, and don't forget to subscribe to the Riverside channel. We have lots of content on things like USB mics, how to build a video podcast setup, and even automating your workflow. Thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you in the next video.